What's up, guys? I know this video is long overdue, but I just got these exotic gauntlets recently for the Hunter. It is the Shards of Galanor. So first up, how to obtain this exotic. This is a Forsaken exotic, so it's a random drop from any activity, so good luck. Going over its perks, so it comes with sharp edges, hits and kills with Blade Barrage will return super energy after the super ends. So essentially, hits and kills you get with Blade Barrage, the super, that basically, like, how many you get determines how much super you regenerate. So it's an overtime regeneration as well, so if you die while you're in or right after the super, you won't get any energy back. It's not like Ursa Furiosa for the Titan. You basically just block a lot of damage and it's like instant. You actually have to survive to be able to get that super back, right? So aka the more kills you get, the more energy you get back. Going over some good mods, I would definitely go with the super mod, because the more super mods you have on, technically your super cools down faster, which means your regen speed is going to be faster, if that makes sense. Like, so if you have no super mods, I think it's about 5 minutes, but if you have all 5 super mods attached, it bumps it down to like 3 minutes and something, which means your regen is technically faster, like just for the super in general. But once you get to perk proc on Shards of Galanor, it technically regens even faster, which is pretty cool. I do want to warn you guys, I got this footage before the Blade Barrage changes that happened in update 2.1.4. So basically the Blade Barrage changes where the impact damage was lowered, the explosion damage itself was increased, and it stopped tracking allies. So that's basically it for Blade Barrage. But I do want to go over the PvE and the PvE side of Gambit. In my opinion, top tier exotic for exotic hunters currently, especially if you're playing solo. Blade Barrage itself is one of the most used supers, and I know for myself, I use it constantly because of its crowd control and boss DPS capabilities. The main thing is that with this exotic specifically is that if you get around 5 to 7 kills, you at least get half your super back. I've gotten it to where I've gotten like 90% of my super back. It's completely random, really. Like, if you kill the same group of ads twice, it could potentially give you a different amount of super back. I don't know why. It's almost a little bit RNG a little bit, but as long as you get a lot of kills, you'll get more super back, right? So having your super more often is great and can be used for multiple things. Again, ad control, boss DPS, creating orbs for your team or other players. The possibilities are completely endless. Like, this is why, like, Blade Barrage is used all the time in Gambit, because of its versatility, right? If you have 1 or 2 Blade Barrage hunters with Shards of Galanor and a few Primeval stacks, that Taken Beast doesn't stand a chance. Or you can go through and just clear out a bunch of ads so your team can run in and grab those motes very, very quickly. Like, that's what supers are used for, right? It's either DPS or it's to take out a bunch of ads quickly so your team can be efficient when it comes to collecting motes. So all in all, I believe this exotic is best for any PvE activity, whether you're doing a solo or with players in strikes and blind well. I know it works really well in blind well, especially with the harmony buff thing that you get. Or whether you're doing it casually or with endgame content, it can serve a lot of purposes, just because the Blade Barrage super fits so well with this exotic that it's very versatile when it comes to any type of PvE activity you're doing, because everybody wants to have their super more often. Going over the Crucible and the PvP side of Gambit, it definitely performs well here. The only downside is that it can only be utilized when you're using the super, which is around 2 to 3 times per match. Which kind of sucks, because there's other exotics that people use that can be used all the time. Things like the Dragon Shadow, all you have to do is dodge and it's procced, right? Which you can get your dodge like every 15 seconds now or something crazy like that. So it can only be used while you're using a super. But in Mayhem, when Mayhem's around, it's completely overpowered, because all you have to do is Blade Barrage one person, survive for like 2 seconds, and you get your super back almost immediately because of the increased regen speed. It's just constant Blade Barraging if you can survive. In regular Crucible modes, it's okay to have, because it can potentially give you 1 or 2 more supers during a match, which is pretty cool. I know if you get at least 4 kills, if you get a lights out, it gives you like 75% of the super back, which is pretty freaking sick. And it can serve, again, 2 purposes in the Crucible. Like, if you're playing Control and 4 people are on the zone, just Blade Barrage them down, and they're donezo. Boom, there you go. And then you get like 75% of your super back, which is pretty cool. Or you can also use it when people are using their super on the enemy team. Anything. I just love shutting down Nova Warp, what is it, the Hammer Titan, and Spectral Blades with Blade Barrage, man. It is so freaking fun. Like, again, pretty versatile, the super itself. And with Shards of Galanor, it just allows you to get your super back more often, which is pretty cool. So, going over the PvP side of Gambit, it's not the best super to use. In my opinion, the 6-shot Golden Gun is the best invading super. If you're specifically trying to kill the enemy team and go over to their arena. The only way I can see this exotic paired with Blade Barrage doing well is when someone on the enemy team invades and they pop their super and you shut them down with the Blade Barrage, which is fine, but you're not going to get a lot of your super back because you only killed 1 enemy. So again, you can invade with Blade Barrage, but the only way to actually be able to utilize this exotic, because we're talking about the exotic, we're not just talking about the super, we're talking about the exotic, is to have them all gathered up, at least 3 or 4 of them. So basically the whole team in Gambit, you actually have to get all the kills on them to actually make it efficient, and you'll actually be able to get a lot of your super back. So I will agree that it is fairly versatile when it becomes between switching between PvE and PvE, because you can go through and kill a bunch of adds that spawn up, and your team can go collect motes, and then if somebody comes in with their super, all you have to do is basically just pop your super on them and they're done. Sorry for ranting on there for a little bit, but some useful exotics and perks. Obviously you can't pair other exotic armor, but some exotic weapons that actually proc the playing with fire perk on Blade Barrage, I just realized this, which is the faster knife regen, essentially. Those weapons would be Prometheus Lens and Jotun. I'm assuming it's because they have that burning effect. But that's specifically for Blade Barrage. But if you want to be able to utilize the Shards of Galanor perk and get more supers more often, you have to put 5 super mods on. You have to do it. You got to put 5 super mods on. That's what you have to do. Like, because obviously faster regen, which means more supers, which means you're going to help out a lot more people in PvE and PvP. Going over my final thoughts, overall, this is currently the best Hunter Exotic to use for most activities, just because of how versatile it is, whether you're playing solo or in the endgame. It's pretty entertaining, to say the least. We're now at the end of the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, but there are 3 things I want to go over. First up, my clan, the D1 Fire Team, is looking for active players in the Destiny community. Our members play all sorts of activities from casual PvE and PvP to the endgame content. If you're actively playing Destiny 2 and want the benefits of a bigger clan, the link to join is below. It'll say clan link. All you have to do is request to join, and myself or one of the admins will approve you. If you're with a smaller clan and want the benefits of a bigger clan, and you have, like, let's say, like 7 to 10 members, I'm just using that as an example, but if you want to come over, just send me a message on any of my social media links and we'll try to get something set up. Number 2, if you want to know how to support me, there's a link below that says best way to support me. That'll take you to a 4-minute video. If you want to go check that out, that would be awesome. But if you don't want to do that, you can always like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video, and all that good jazz if you want to do any of those things. Lastly, we have a link to the community Discord below. Just a heads up, we're looking for anyone with moderator experience to potentially run the Discord. I know for myself, I'm more of a player instead of a manager, so if you have some moderator experience, just send me a message and we'll try to get something set up. I know for myself, I'm on Xbox, but if you guys would like to talk or chat with me, Discord is going to be the best way to do those things. Alright guys, hope you enjoy this video. We'll catch you next time.